Hello everyone and welcome to this presentation. This is Amaan Iqbal, and in this video I am going to give you a brief overview of my Google Summer of Code 2019 project. So without any further ado, let's get started. To start with, let me give you a brief overview of the circumstances which led to this project. As you might know, CDLI, that is Cuneiform Digital Library Initiative, has a very large collection of geographical and temporal data of artifacts at its disposal, which is only present in the database. So there is a need to show a high level overview of those information in forms of some stats and the visualization or in any other way to our users. So this project aims at creating a stats page which gives a overview of the stats or the statistics of different columns in any specific table, and also six different visualizations which were developed in d3.js. Moving ahead, these were the five main objectives I accomplished this year during GSoC. First one is I created six different pluggable visualizations for the search results. Pluggable in the sense it is developed in modules so that it can be placed anywhere we wanted. Second one is I integrated visualizations to the advanced search results page. All these six. Moving ahead, the third one is I constructed a general stats page to give a high level overview of the stats present in any specific table in the database. I also updated the UI of the framework, decided during the community bonding period only. I also documented the entire code I have written so that any other newcomer can contribute in whatever way he could without facing any difficulties. And I also added appropriate no script fallbacks. I will explain about this in my upcoming slides. Now let me show you the results which I got at the end. So yeah, this is the stats analysis page. This gives a review of the selected table. Okay, using this drop down, this drop down lists all the tables present in the database, and by selecting any of them, you can see this table. Like you can see the information about the column name, which all columns are present in that specific table, what data type has been allocated to them, what is the length assigned to them, the number of null values that specific column is having, the number of distinct values that specific column is having, the maximum value or length if it's a string that column is having, and the minimum value or minimum length of string that specific column is having. So for integers, ID, author ID and artifact ID, again, the maximum and minimum value is going to be integers only. For date, data type is date, time, and again, there is nothing like length for dates. Number of null values is 0, number of distinct values is 2080. Maximum value in case of date is the most latest date, that is 19th of February 2019 in this case, and the minimum value, that is the oldest date present in this date column inside this credits table, is 4th of December 2001. Similarly, I have shown the information about comments and credits too. These are of type string, and you can see maximum and minimum value, that is the maximum and minimum length of the strings in these two columns are 0. That means both of those columns are empty. All the rows in those two columns are empty. And at the end, I have shown how many rows this selected table has in our database. After that, I developed the bar chart. This shows the languages in the x-axis along with the count of artifacts in which this language appeared. And again, of course, this is an image, so you cannot interact with it, but in actual visualization, on hover over any of these bars, you can see the information about what is the actual count of artifacts with this specific language. Again, and you can see this scale over here, this is logarithmic, so you cannot actually predict what these values could be. But yeah, this gives a basic overview which you can, using which you can get precise information on hover over any of the paths. After that, I developed the donut chart. Again, on however any of these arcs, you can see the exact value of the count of artifacts which were found in that language. And I've shown a legend over here which maps the language name to the color so that you can identify which arc corresponds to which language. After that, I developed the radar chart. This gives a high level overview of how a specific genre, I mean how the number of artifacts found with a specific genres is distributed with respect to the regions. Here I have shown top 6 genres along the axis of the radar chart, and with respect to the top 3 regions. I mean the count of artifacts found in that region categorized by that. After that, I developed the line chart. Here again, I took periods in the x-axis and the count of artifacts found in that period along the y-axis, categorized by the top 3 genres in this case. Okay, using this drop down, you can select which combination of categories you want this line chart to display. Currently, we are having period versus genre, period versus language, and period versus materials. In each of the cases, I have periods in the x-axis along with the corresponding count of artifacts of that category. And again, this legend corresponds explains which of the lines corresponds to which specific genre in this case. After that, I developed the dendrogram chart. This gives a kind of tree-like structure of how a material or any other attribute which is kind of nested in terms of parent, which are related as a parent-child relationship, which are related with parent-child relationship. So in this case, I have displayed materials. Material is categorized into stones, metals, bone, and clay, and it is further categorized to these specific values, which I have shown as bar chart. Again, here you can see stone is also categorized into quartz, which is further subcategorized into flint. And on however any of these bars in the actual visualization, you can see this ball at the top showing the corresponding count of that specific material. Count of artifacts in which that specific material has appeared. You can also guess this count via the scale at the top. It's linear one here. After that, I developed the choropleth map again for two different. For two different. In terms of two different values, that is proveniences or sites and regions. In this case, as you can see, currently we are having around 317, I guess, different proveniences or sites. So in this visualization, I have shown where each of those sites are located in our world map. Again, it's an image, so you cannot interact with it. But in actual visualization, on however any of these small circles, you can see the name of the proveniences along with the region. And again, as you can see, like it's categorized on some basis, like deep blue dots appear here, then light blue here, then something kind of white here. All of these are categorized by the region. And you can see the zoom in, zoom out, and reset functionality on this world map. So you can zoom at any level here, and you can interact with the map. And again, you can filter this map by regions as well, so that it will show you the region information of the regions we are currently having in our database. Yeah, now after that I integrated all of my 6 visualizations to this advanced search results page. As you can see, like, and on clicking on any of the bars, on any of this links here, the corresponding chart is okay. This is a snapshot of the advanced search results page. So depending upon your search queries, these visualization which will only display the information of those artifacts which were returned as a result of your search filters. Currently, these search filters were having some problems, so I have just displayed all of these. All of my separate visualization which I constructed earlier over here. Coming down to the strengths these visualizations have, my project has rather all of my visualization which I constructed are responsive with respect to screen sizes. So, with respect to device screen sizes. So, irrespective of you view them on tablet or mobile phones or laptop or desktop, it's going to appear fine without any kind of breaks or something like that. I've also added fallbacks, that is no script fallbacks for users with JavaScript disabled. That means if for some reason the user has disabled JavaScript, then I am showing a fallback image of the visualization. Like this is how the visualization would have appeared if you would have JavaScript enabled. And also I have a basic friendly text below that image saying please enable JavaScript to view the actual visualization. And I also have the selection of attribute combinations in some ways visualizations like this line chart you can categorize by in three different ways, and also the choropleth map by proveniences and regions. And the most important thing, I developed all the codes in a very modular and generalizable way, that is it can easily be generalized to any other attributes apart from those which have been tried here. Yeah, there are some limitations too which could have exploited, like again whatever the database queries I have written can be optimized with respect to time space trade-off. Like again, uh, information about a small table can be stored in form of some data structure like hash table or something like that, and so that in further queries if the information about the previous table is required, so we need not access the table time and again. We can just use the value I have stored in a hash table previously. Okay, in PHP it's associative array. And also there are some attribute combinations I have not tried, or some attributes I have not tried. That is fields, composites, authors, rulers, dynasties, etc. Those can be tried in the future. And that's not going to be difficult since I have my code in very generalizable. I have written the code in very generalizable way. Moving ahead, the ways in which this can be used is, some of them are like again, any of the visualization provides a very clear and quick understanding of the artifacts related information in a very appealing way. It also makes large amount of artifacts data currently present in our database very much understandable to the user. Like currently we are having around 3,34,540 artifacts information, but again no one can just go through the entire database even if they are given access to understand anything out of that. So there is a need to show those statistics to our users in some way or the other. With that, also the highly correlated parameters can be identified. This project will also aid CDLI in garnering interest from researchers and academics. They can come over here to get to know about archaeological and artifacts related information in a better way. And again, as you can think, visuals provide a very easier and quicker ways of comprehending the data, and it also provides the remembrance of the statistics for a longer period of time. My future plans are as follows. Like I plan to try out different attribute combinations which I have not tried so far and tune my project in some way or the other. And I wish to be a long time contributor to CDLI, as generally I love to do open source in my free time to expand my skill set mostly. And I also wish to mentor CDLI in future open source events like Google Coding or maybe Google Summer of Code next year if given the opportunity. And yeah, definitely after that I will also be there with any other help or suggestions I can on any of the domains, on any specific domains in which I have knowledge or expertise. And yeah, overall my experience was really amazing. I had very helpful and supportive mentors who have always motivated and encouraged me in improving my work so that it could be helpful and beneficial to a large number of CDLI users. I also learned the practical implementations of some data structures like hash tables to manage the time phase trade-offs, and I could see the effects for the same, like how it actually benefits or how it actually minimizes the time complexity in some cases by what do you call, by sacrificing some memory. And yeah, definitely I increased my familiarity with D3GS a lot. I was not very good at the same previously, but this project made me understand it in a much better way. Yeah, and at the end, I would wish to say thank you to all my mentors, and thanks a lot to you too for watching this video.